I moved into my new apartment a month ago, eager to start fresh in a city far from my past. The place was cheap, too good to be true, but I didn't ask too many questions. I figured a little noise from neighbors wouldn't be a big deal. At first, everything seemed fine. The walls were thin and I could hear muffled conversations and occasional music, but it was nothing I couldn't ignore. That is, until I started hearing the voices at night. It wasn't the typical noise of people talking through the walls. It was different. Whispering. Hushed voices almost inaudible, but persistent. The whispers would always start just after midnight, too quiet to make out words, but always just there, like someone was standing right behind me. I thought it was just the building settling. That's what I told myself the first few nights, but then things started getting stranger. One night around 3 a.m. I woke up to the sound of scraping, like fingernails against wood. It wasn't coming from the walls, it was coming from inside the wall itself. I froze listening. The scraping continued, followed by a slow, deliberate tapping, like someone was knocking from inside the wall. I got up, heart pounding, and approached the spot where the noise was the loudest, near the corner of my bedroom. I put my hand against the wall, feeling the cold surface. My fingers brushed something uneven, something soft like a patch of cloth or skin? I jerked my hand back, my breath catching in my throat. That's when I heard the voice. It wasn't a whisper this time. It was clear and unmistakable. "Let me out!" I stumbled back, heart racing. I didn't know if I was dreaming or losing my mind. The silence after that was suffocating. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't move. The voice was gone, but I felt a heaviness in the air. Something was watching me, waiting. The next day I decided to call maintenance. I needed to know what was behind that wall. The maintenance guy, a grizzled older man named Carl, showed up after a couple of hours. I told him about the sounds and what I felt. He was quiet for a moment before giving me an odd look. "You sure about that?" he asked, almost if he didn't believe me. "Yes," I replied, feeling the hair on the back of my neck stand up. "There's something in the wall." He didn't say anything else, but started inspecting the spot. It only took him a few minutes before he knocked on the wall a couple of times, like he was trying to get a feel for it. Then, with a grunt, he pulled out a small hammer and tapped it against the drywall. The wall gave way with a sickening crack. I felt my stomach turn as Carl pulled the pieces of the wall apart. Behind it there was nothing but darkness. "Well," Carl muttered, wiping his brow, "that's strange." He took his flashlight and shined it into the hole. For a moment I didn't see anything, but then something moved. A pale skeletal hand. It reached out from the darkness, slow and deliberate. The skin was stretched tight and the fingers were twisted like a corpse's. Before I could scream, Carl yanked me back. "Get away from the wall," he ordered, voice stern. I couldn't move. I was frozen in terror. The thing in the wall was pulling itself out, slithering. It wasn't a person. It was something wrong. The smell hit me then. Decay. Rot. I turned away, gagging. Carl moved faster, grabbing tools from his bag, but the thing didn't stop. It was coming out piece by piece, its face still hidden in the shadows of the wall. "You have to leave," Carl said, his voice suddenly fearful. "This place, it wasn't built right. They tried to trap something in the walls." I backed away, eyes glued to the hole as I stumbled towards the door. The thing was getting closer, but it wasn't coming for me, it was coming for Carl. I ran out of the apartment, not looking back until I reached the stairs. As I turned the corner to the exit, I heard Carl scream. Then, silence. I never went back. The police found no sign of Carl or the thing in the wall, and the apartment was boarded up. I moved to a new place far away, but I can still hear the whispers sometimes, especially late at night. They're coming from the walls again. And no one voice is always louder than the others. It says my name.